Even if taking out an individual loan isn't on your checklist of objectives, there are scenarios where these fundings make sense. You may need to obtain money to pay for a major residence repair work, your kids' races, or a brand new vehicle to get to function. For instance, personal car loans are also prominent for financial debt consolidation since they have a tendency to provide much reduced rates of interest than charge card. One big benefit of individual finances is that they're extremely foreseeable and easy to prepare for. Unlike charge card that offer variable rate of interest that can change gradually, personal finances included fixed interest rates, dealt with repayment durations, and also dealt with monthly payments that constantly remain the same. An additional advantage of personal car loans is the fact they commonly come with no costs. Obviously, these personal loans are generally only offered to consumers with excellent, very good, or exceptional credit score, or FICO ratings over 670, as well as really, those with the best debt FICO ratings over 740 are the ones probably to get the very best rates and terms, according to MAFICO. With good or great credit history, you must be able to get an individual car loan that does not add fees that make it more costly in time. Below are the charges you need to try to stay clear of. 1. Application costs. A lot of personal lending institutions don't bill a cost to obtain their items. However, some do. These charges are assessed in order to cover the costs of refining your application as well as establishing your brand new lending, as well as the non-refundable. Ideally, you should try to find loan providers who do not charge any application costs to use. Even much better, search for loan providers that allow you get pre-qualified without a tough query on your debt record. This way, you can evaluate your ability to qualify without any adverse influence to your credit rating. 2. Origination costs. Outside of application charges, several credible lenders charge source fees or charges analyzed to originate your loan. These charges can vary by lender as well as despite having the very same lending institution depending upon your credit history and various other factors. They can even be as high as 8% of your finance quantity, which is a whole lot. As an instance, peer-to-peer loan provider Loaning Club mentions they bill origination charges that depend on a consumer's credit score rating and the information in their application, varying from 1 to 6% of the financing quantity. Fortunately is that numerous lending institutions do not bill these costs. If your credit score suffices to qualify for a loan provider that does not charge an origination fee, you should pull out of this cost altogether. 3. Early repayment fees. Early repayment charges are fees analyzed on debtors who pay their financings off early. Whatever, you need to look for an individual lending that will not bill you additional costs for prepaying your loan. These charges are a waste of cash, as well as they penalize you for doing the appropriate point. Regardless of just how your credit history rating looks, never ever register for a personal car loan that charges you cash for paying greater than you have to. 4. Late charges. Many lending institutions charge late fees if you pay your personal funding behind your settlement due date or beyond any grace period they manage you. These fees are usually around $40 a pop. However, you can rack up considerable charges if you are continuously paying your bill late. Despite which loan provider you register with, it assists to have a plan to make your monthly repayment very early or promptly every month. Mark your due day in your schedule, established in forms on your phone, or establish your costs to be paid on auto-pay if you assume it would certainly assist. Some lender also supply price cuts when you set your car loan repayment to be paid immediately, so you can save cash as well as stay clear of late repayments in one fell swoop. 5. Return check charges. Many loan providers bill a cost for check handling if your check has to be returned for any reason, consisting of insufficient funds. These charges can vary relying on the lending institution. However, they are usually around $15, $25 per return check. You can avoid return checks by making certain you constantly have the funds in the financial institution to cover your individual financing payment. Better yet, pay your individual loan repayment online using direct transfer from your checking account. That way, your settlement is published much quicker and you will not risk it getting lost in the mail. Just how to shop for a personal funding. Since you know which costs to avoid, you are possibly wondering just how you can figure out which lending institutions charge costs as well as which don't. Your best bet is taking some time to shop around and also contrast lenders based on their rates of interest, costs, as well as various other aspects. The best lenders for personal finances offer loans without fees, and they usually let you get pre-qualified for a funding without filling out a full application or having a difficult questions positioned on your credit score record.